Et bonjour tout le monde, je suis avec Cédric du studio ARK qui fait le jeu ARK. Hello Cédric, how are you?
Good, I'm doing good. Tired, but good.
Yeah. We're here with a lovely Nintendo Switch.
Yes.
Why?
Well, we're here with a Switch because ARK will be coming to Switch. It's been a really, it's been hard to take a game such as big as ARK and to put it on a
You
small...
stole my next question.
Oh, sorry. But yes, we're here for ARK on Switch.
Yeah. Donc il nous a amené ARK sur la Nintendo Switch et il a commencé à dire que c'était très difficile de le porter dessus. Il a un peu cramé ma deuxième question, mais on va voir ça justement. What was the most difficult to port big games like ARK, which run on powerful PCs and consoles, on a little Nintendo Switch? Alors là, je lui demande en fait qu'est-ce qui a été le plus difficile pour porter ARK d'un PC surpuissant d'une console sur une petite Nintendo Switch.
It was the hardest part was the graphics, because ARK is such an intensive game for graphics, so we had to bring down the graphic quality a bit to make it run smoother. The one thing we did not want to do is we did not want to sacrifice any content. So everything that is in the PC, the console version, will be in this game. Every single item, every dinosaur, everything that you can do in that game is in here as well.
Challenge.
Yeah, it's been a huge challenge. So we had to do things like lower the graphics a little bit. We have something that we say in in development, render distance, meaning how far you can see things. We had to bring that back a little bit because it makes it run smoother when you can see a little bit less. So that's been the hardest part.
Il nous explique tout simplement ce qui a été le plus compliqué, c'est de faire rentrer le moteur graphique de ARK sur une Nintendo Switch. Et donc ils ont fait des ajustements au niveau de la résolution, au niveau aussi de la profondeur de champ, pour que ça puisse tourner de manière vraiment fluide. Le jeu est en train de démarrer, donc on va pouvoir faire des commentaires dessus. I guess there is a ARK version on mobile phone.
Yes, there is an ARK mobile version.
Did this version help you to port on this Nintendo Switch? No.
I wish it did. Nintendo is such a different platform. It isn't as easy as just saying, here, take this and put it on Switch. We had to develop it pretty much from the ground up. So we learned things from mobile, things that we didn't want to do for this. Like for mobile, you don't have all of the content that you have in Switch. So, we learned from that. We said, hey, we don't want people to have less content when they go from PC to Nintendo Switch. So we learned things like that, but as far as from a development standpoint, it was completely different approaching this for Nintendo Switch.
Donc ils ont commencé tout simplement de zéro parce que c'est vrai que la version mobile, je lui ai demandé si elle avait aidé à porter sur Switch, mais non, la réponse est non, pour la simple et bonne raison que wow, it's beautiful. Pour la simple et bonne raison que la version mobile n'a pas toutes les fonctionnalités de la version PC qui seront elles toutes présentes sur la version Nintendo Switch. Alors là, je vais lui poser quelques petites questions, notamment sur leur parcours, parce que c'est vrai que je crois me souvenir que ARK a commencé sur Kickstarter, donc on va un petit peu voir l'ambition qui s'est développée au cours de ces dernières années. I seem to remember that ARK began on Kickstarter, right?
No,
it was
early access for
access.
Steam, yes.
Okay.
So we launched, that was middle of the year 2016, I want to believe.
15?
Maybe 15. You're right, yeah, it was 15, yes. Yeah, so we launched early access, and there were at that point, there were only 6 people working at the studio.
This is my question. You started with a very little team, I think. It was an early access. Seeing your game now on mobile phone, Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One, should be a really good success for you and your team.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've definitely grown since then. We're probably about 40 people now total. So we definitely grown, but it's been a huge challenge. And what that means is that when it was a smaller team, you have to wear multiple hats. Meaning you have to do art, you have to do programming, you have to do marketing, you have to do everything. So now we have specific roles that people fall into, and you can focus on that one thing and make it really great. When we launched, it was very loose around the edges. It was very rough because you have people doing everything. But now that we're more focused, we can really get detail.
This team is on Nintendo Switch, this team did that.
Yes, exactly. We can separate the team out so that people can focus on that thing that they're responsible for.
Donc en fait, il m'explique tout simplement qu'au départ, ils étaient 6, ce qui est très peu, et que maintenant ils sont 40. Donc ça a pu, le travail est beaucoup plus simple maintenant, puisque au début il avait de multiples casquettes, enfin tout le monde avait de multiples casquettes, il faut savoir tout faire. Alors que là, eh bien, toutes les tâches sont bien réparties dans les différentes équipes, donc c'est beaucoup plus facile. Alors le jeu est très très beau. Je vais lui poser des petites questions dessus, notamment en termes de résolution et de framerate. The game run very smooth on Nintendo Switch, and graphics are very beautiful for this console.
And this is actually an older build. We wanted to make sure that we showed a build that's very stable and very, runs very smoothly. So what we're working on now is seeing how far we can bring up the graphics and still keep a smooth play.
Okay.
I mean, smooth play is probably what our biggest focus is on.
Yeah.
We want people to have a smooth experience, but we also want it to look good as well. So we're playing with how far we can bring that up and, make sure that it still looks good and it runs good.
Yeah. Donc leur objectif principal, ça a été en fait que le jeu soit fluide. Et le jeu sera sorti d'ailleurs le 30 novembre, hein. Je viens de recevoir le communiqué de presse, donc on vous fera un petit test bien évidemment sur playerone.tv. Là ce qu'on peut voir, c'est que le moteur graphique avait bien été conservé. Et je voudrais un petit peu lui demander des questions techniques. Moi j'aime bien quand on fait des interviews sortir un peu des traditionnelles questions. Et je voudrais lui demander un peu comment on optimise en fait une Nintendo Switch. When you're working on Nintendo Switch, what can you really do between maybe overclock the processor or when you're on dock or on handheld?
Yeah, so
what can you do really to optimize the game?
Well, some of the things we talked about, like the render distance, some of the things like the graphic quality.
Yeah.
When it's docked, we have a little bit more power, so we can detect when you're docked and things like that. So that's what we're working on now is, making sure that if you go from docked, or you can even, plug it into your TV.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that when you plug it into your TV, the resolution, upscales and it looks good and it's not still small like this.
Yeah.
So those are the things that we are investigating and we're learning about now. It's very new for us as a studio. We're very used to PC and things like that. That's where we grew up and that's where everybody learned. So this is a learning process for us. But yeah, those are the things that we're tooling with now is being able to say, hey, when you're docked or when you're powered, can we leverage resources a little bit more? When you're not docked, okay, let's bring it down because you're on battery and you can't be that intensive. So those are all things we take into account when we're playing with this.
Donc en fait, c'est plein de réglages, plein d'essais aussi pour savoir si quand on le branche sur le dock, la résolution elle s'upscale bien comme il faut. Et puis des petites optimisations, en fait c'est la bidouille, c'est ce qu'ils m'expliquent, ils ont un PC et voilà, et ils voient ce qui marche pas, ils voient ce qui marche et puis ils choisissent la meilleure chose. Je vais lui demander si Nintendo par contre a une ouverture un petit peu plus large qu'avant. Je sais qu'ils aidaient pas trop les développeurs. Nintendo, if you need help, is Nintendo available to help you? Because it said in the few years past it was very difficult to work with. Still.
Yeah, it's we love Nintendo. Don't get me wrong; they're good partners, but they aren't helping us build this game. So we have actually worked with, and you'll see it in when the lead-in title, Abstraction, is a company that we went to help us out with this. They have tons of experience in this area. They're very knowledgeable about Switch and consoles, so we've been working with them a lot to assist us because this is a very new lane for us. It's a very new avenue. So we have to appreciate them a lot because without them, this wouldn't be possible. It wouldn't have been possible.
Donc il dit qu'avec le plus grand des amours qu'il a envers Nintendo, c'est toujours pareil en fait. Nintendo n'aide pas forcément les développeurs quand ils rencontrent des difficultés pour adapter les outils sur Nintendo Switch, mais il travaille avec une boîte, j'ai pas retenu le nom mais je pourrais vous le dire après, qui les a aidés parce qu'ils ont une grande expertise du coup des jeux Nintendo et surtout des consoles Nintendo, donc c'était plus facile. Là je vais lui poser un petit peu la question de savoir quel est le futur en fait de ARK. Est-ce qu'il prévoit une autre franchise ou pas? What will happen in the future with ARK or a new game?
So
expansion maybe?
Yeah, the expansion, we have an expansion coming out in November 6th.
Yeah.
So after that, we're going to go back and we're going to look at, we're still going to be doing updates for ARK. Okay. We did, prior to Extinction, we did what we call TLC patches, where we would add features to old dinosaurs. So we want to go back because we didn't give all of the older dinosaurs a lot of love. You know, they just attack. So we want to go back and add unique abilities to them.
Okay.
And we definitely want to add more to this game. I mean, we're not done with ARK just because it might be the last expansion. We still will be doing updates for this and adding content.
Là, ils vont rajouter du contenu en fait petit à petit, ils sont pas encore à passer au futur. Et par exemple, les dinosaures, ils voudraient pas qu'ils fassent que attaquer, mais aussi qu'ils aient d'autres, des aptitudes spéciales par dinosaure. Donc ça n'est pas encore terminé. Il y a une expansion qui sort là, mais même après ça, il y aura des mises à jour. Je vais lui poser des questions maintenant sur la VR. Au niveau de with ARK Park.
ARK Park.
Oh, your first VR experience.
Yes.
What was the main difficulties to adapt a game like ARK with VR?
VR games are, I consider VR games more experiences.
Yeah.
You know, it would be hard to turn this game into a cool VR experience in the way that it is.
Yeah.
So we wanted to take the parts that was cool about ARK and add them into ARK Park. So like raising a dinosaur. Yeah. We wanted to add that into ARK Park. Riding your dinosaur, we wanted to add that into ARK Park. So what we tried to focus on is taking the key elements that made ARK fun and move those over to a VR experience because just running around in this would not be fun in VR. Yeah. So we want to take all the little bits and pieces that make this a cool game and add those into the ARK Park VR experience.
Donc là, ce qu'ils ont fait tout simplement, c'est qu'ils ont pris le meilleur de ARK pour le porter sur VR parce que c'est vrai que un jeu que vous portez en VR, comme il dit, c'est pas forcément fun si vous mettez exactement la même chose. Donc ils ont vraiment sélectionné tout ça. Moi, je vais leur poser une dernière petite question, je pense. C'est savoir un petit peu ce qu'ils ont préféré en fait avec toutes les expériences qu'ils ont eues. Final questions. What did you prefer in working on every console, VR, or now mobile and Switch? What was the most challenging? What did you prefer?
I prefer console.
Yeah.
Just because I grew up playing console. You went on my couch with my buddies. We all have controllers. We're playing on a console, so it gives me, it takes me back to my childhood. Yeah. So I prefer console, but it's also one of the. What's easy about console is it's very defined specifications. Yeah. Everybody runs the same system, so you automatically know what you have to work with. Yeah. PC is a lot harder because you have very low-end computers, high-end computers. So I think my personal favorite is console because one, I love consoles, and two, it's very defined for the specifications and things you have to develop too.
Donc il dit tout simplement qu'il préfère les consoles, déjà parce que ça lui rappelle son jeune temps, et en plus, mais il a pas l'air bien vieux quand même, mais, et surtout parce que il n'y a qu'un hardware en fait, contrairement au PC, vous avez je sais pas combien de millions de cartes graphiques, de processeurs, de gna. Là c'est toujours pareil sur une PS4 ou une Xbox One. Alors, je vais quand même poser une toute dernière question, c'est voir, je fais ma chasse à la PS5. I finally have another question.
No, go for it. Go for it.
Did you heard some stuff about PS5 and next Xbox?
No, I have not. Now, there may be other people in my studio that may be having those conversations, but, I haven't heard anything on it.
Did you know it will be out last year or the year after?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, all of us.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
We're all in the same
I wish
boat.
I had information. Believe me, I wish I did. I haven't heard anything about it, but I'm looking forward to it for sure because as that generation of consoles increases, we get to do more in games. We can add more things to it and we can make it prettier. So,
any ideas about what you want to do on the next generations?
Yes, lots of ideas. Lots of ideas. One of the big things that I want to do is for instance, this is one of the examples, but I want to make our environment a living environment. So, in nature where you see herds of animals moving across the land, I want to do more things like that to make the dinos smarter and act more like animals. And, we're really stuck with where we're at with the current generation of...
we always say with AI, sorry.
Yeah, AI.
It's not evolving very much because I think it's due to the processing unit.
Yes, absolutely. It takes a lot of hardware and processing to be able to do good AI. So one of the things I'm looking forward to with the new consoles is being able to leverage that to do better AI for our dinos.
Tout simplement il n'a pas d'infos comme nous. Et je lui ai demandé du coup s'il avait des idées sur ce qu'il voudrait faire sur la génération d'après. Et ça c'est très intéressant parce que nous on se plaint souvent que l'IA des jeux elle s'améliore quasiment pas. Et il confirme que c'est dû à des processeurs pas assez puissants. Et il espère que sur la prochaine génération ça sera le cas pour avoir par exemple des dinosaures qui ont une intelligence artificielle beaucoup mieux. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Me too.
Yeah.
And see you later.
Yes.
Merci.